Oh, oh my cat got here. Wow, certainly does all. Huh? Yeah. Whew. Oh, the door. I'll let the laundry basket out. I'm gonna separate it tomorrow. Please.
Whoa. How do we get so many clothes?
Jesus. I know when you're working, you have a lot of clothes.
Yeah. Life behind the curtain. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Oh, hey man, I got whoa, there's nothing up there. Uh yeah, I got this razor. Uh Nick bought me for Christmas, and man, that thing cuts nice. So I'm doing my trimming for once. I'm actually I'm no I don't no longer look like a COVID hermit. No, I am. I am. I'm actually I'm actually one of these people that thrive during catastrophes. Uh, Apparently, other people living in the house change often. Me, the only thing I change out is, well, if I remember my underwear, but I will wear the. I will. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? You get me going on a tangent. I will take it uh, to its end. Let me see. Let me use it. I don't. I don't. uh, What was what was the question? What was the question? What was the what is it? Let me see. What was it? Oh man, I got rid of it. Oh damn it. Oh no, that wasn't a question. That was a comment. That was not a question. That was a comment. Uh, yeah, yeah. It was just my brain started. I was sitting here staring at the screen and waiting for 6 o'clock to come around. I've been sitting here since we actually talked last. That's been 8 hours. I've been waiting for. The, well, no, I didn't do the laundry today. So yeah, okay, all right. Well, welcome back. That was uh that was a nice hiatus, you know. Okay, you've been walking a lot, huh? Hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. What do you mean by competitive ball? Were you playing on a league? In a league? Uh-huh. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. All right, I'm back. All right. So yeah, you, well, see, I need to be told I'm frozen. To me, yeah, yeah. But it would be nicer if you sang it, you know? All right. Let it be, let it be. Come on, this is the Disney version.
And there we go. We're live, Ron.
Sorry, folks, I'm still here.
Great. That's beautiful. We did, we. Whoa, did it switch? Yeah, I'm thinking it did. Oh yeah, there it goes. Boom. All right. Yeah, we do need a logo. We don't have a Unsellable Beta logo, but now that you, oh yeah,
I,
let's go ahead and get this out to the people right now before they get too far away. Ron ruined it. He ruined the name of the show.
I really did. I guess I
He
did.
did. He sold the artwork from the very first episode.
That's right, and I have to thank all of you for that.
Thanks, Ron. Way to
Yeah.
go. You know,
I'm
you're
going to
just
thank. I'm going to thank the all two of our audience for making that happen for me, selling that piece of work and ruining our logo selection. Now I have to guess I have to put the beta floating up happily.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was
in a bo-
unsellable.
in a shot glass full of tequila.
Yeah, we need it. Yeah, we do not have a logo.
We will. I'll draw it up. I've just
So I guess the logo is in need because it should be in the corner. All the other shows on this channel have logos. We're the only one without one.
really. What is that other show with the five or four?
With the women?
Yeah. Do they have a logo?
Yeah, she has a logo. They are.
Damn.
They are. Yeah, everyone has one except for us.
I will make one.
We don't have one. We need
Uh,
a small little logo to stick down in the corner as well.
That's all I can do is small logos.
Well, that's what logos should be. I don't think this is called a logo if it's huge. I guess I don't know. You think about large logos. The only ones who have the logos where they become like the statement of the company. I mean, like the Nike swoosh.
Target.
Target. The ones like Kraft. The ones you know what they are the minute you just see the shape.
Yeah, but ours is never going to be that big.
Like that wave, like that Coca-Cola wave.
Ours is never going to be that large because we're unsellable.
No, apparently not, Ron. Apparently not. Apparently sellable.
Well, 50% of us is unsellable.
Thank you. I'm glad to hold up my end of this whole thing.
That's right. Somebody's got to do it.
All right.
All right.
We're going to get into the show. Well, I want to welcome everybody to, at least we should try to make this like a regular show because this year for 2021, we hope to start we're not even hope to. We're going to be inviting guests. So I want to go ahead and right off the bat say welcome to Unsellable Beta with Ron Moya, who's up there in the top block. I'm Ted Washington down here in the bottom block. And we're going to have a topic every time out. This week's topic will be transition this week. I mean, we're really, I think we've only been doing the show once a month, but who knows what's going to happen. Anyway, we're going to talk about transitioning as an artist through art and life, I guess. I don't really even know what it means. We're going to, that's hence the discussion. And I guess everyone's going to probably wonder why this piece of art here, Big Face. And the reason for it is because at the time when this piece was done, it was an experiment in the idea of could these different various shapes of the face be arranged properly to actually imply a proper face. Although they are, if you look at them, they're realistically incorrect.
Yeah, they are a little bit weird.
No one's face actually looks like that. It's just impossible.
Unless you're a 13-year-old with acne.
Yeah, no one's face looks like that. Where it's just two eyes which are improbably spread too far apart. No one's eyes are that far apart.
Yeah, but no one seems to mind that. It's because they all unify.
Well, your mind puts it together. You're frozen again, Ron. And I'm not going to sing it. Just come on back and be unfrozen. Come on. You can do it.
All right?
All right, you're back.
Wow.
We got to get you fiber.
Fiber?
Yeah, internet.
He says, I need more fiber.
No, not that. Well, then you need more laundry. Yeah. So anyway.
Oh, you meant the other one. Fiber optics.
So anyway, but the eyes are just really too far apart. The nose, nobody's nose looks like that. The lips are just.
But that was all intentional, right? That was intentional to do it like that. That was your intention.
Well, that was, yeah, kind of. I mean, it was an experiment. It was the idea: could these 4 elements make a face?
Those 4 elements make a face.
Yeah, exactly.
The eyes, the nose, and the chin.
No,
the mouth. And the mouth.
Oh, chin. Where's the chin? There's no chin there.
Oh, that's right.
Ron, you have this piece in your house. You see a chin? Oh my God.
Sorry, I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking. Well, I can't tell you that right now.
All right. Anyway, the reason why this piece is incorrect is because, as Ron knows, that I completely left this to go to more of a photorealistic style, and not only that, much darker, much darker. I mean, we're talking like this piece. I probably didn't even use a 1/8 of a bottle of ink. Now I use 2 to 3 bottles of ink per piece. I mean, we're talking like.
When you made that shift, that transition, was your intention like to make that leap, that drastic leap from very light, where you could almost count all the dots, to this space that was filled with blackened dots, and to that photorealistic? Were you dissatisfied with that initial image that you had created? Where is the image? Is it around anywhere? Do you have the image? Do you have the image? The painting? Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I do. It was a found photo from a newspaper in a newspaper, and the girl's head was in a guy's hand. He had his hand under her chin, and I was like, I'm going to remove that. And at the time, I really, when I did it, my style wasn't concrete in the way. Was
that a Man Ray photograph?
No. It was from a play, or it was from a band or something. It was like something like that. I have to find it. And I just wanted to isolate the girl's face. And then I went even further. I said, I'm going to minimalize everything. I'm just going to eradicate everything. But at this time, I didn't really use a hardcore grid. At this time, I just basically drew them as I saw them. I mean, and therefore everything got out of whack. And instead of trying to correct it, I just left it. I just said, I'm not going to correct this. I'm going to leave it. But, it's so weird you asked that question. When I was walking around and I was trying to think what we're going to discuss today about the transitions, and I was like, planned or unplanned? And you just asked that question. Was it planned or unplanned for me to go the direction I went? And I'm going to say it was kind of planned. I knew that I wanted to go darker, but I didn't know the route it was going to take. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get it, because I don't want to get too far off, because talking about what transitions are and how they happen and how they translate is one thing, but I was just wondering, like, what was, when you transitioned, what was the reaction to, I know what the reaction was, because I saw, I think, the first one when you brought it to the studio, and you showed it, and everybody was clamoring around it, and I had to walk from my cubicle over, and I started walking up to it, and I must have been about a good, I don't know, 15, 20 feet away from it, and I thought, wow, that's a pretty nice photograph. And as I continue to walk up to it, yeah, the thing metamorphosized into this dotted object, and I remember turning around to you and just going, "Are you insane?" It just seemed like obsessive when I saw it. So to have the piece,
Uh-oh. You froze. Ron.
all right, am I unfrozen?
No, you're unfrozen. Okay, to have the piece that you have, go on, keep going.
I have the piece I have, and the piece that I saw, which was that was a startling transition. There was no middle ground. It was that, then this, and that's what you've been doing most of this time for the last, 15 years?
Yeah, dude, no, there was a transition period. You just didn't see it all. It was like a 10-year period. Now, I remember when I brought that really dark piece into the studio, but there was a period that goes between where I'm trying to slowly work out the technique. Mm-hmm. Because there's a technical difficulties in just trying to go from light to dark. Mm-hmm. Because you got to know how the ink's going to act. I had to learn how to make the ink do what I wanted it to do.
Did you ever have any throwaways?
There's one piece that I have never shown that was just not. It did not work.
Do you still have it?
Yes.
Do you have it there somewhere?
I do have it. I don't have it. I can't. What, can I put it up on the screen right now?
Yeah. Can you just show it?
I don't know. I might have to shut down the stream to look for it.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Because I don't know where it is. I would have to go look for it.
Don't bother. I mean, but I think that would be it. It would have been interesting to see the one that I have, that transitional one that you said didn't succeed, and then the first one you showed in that what has been a series of paintings for the last 15 years.
Yeah, I'm looking
because
for
people want to know how you get from point A to point B. They want to know that because it helps explain the translation of the work.
Dude,
it explains certain things that are ephemeral.
I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. Yeah, I can't get my hands on it right now.
That's okay, because I was just wondering about that kind of stuff, because it's funny that we should be talking about this, because the work that I've been doing lately is a re-examination of old work and how my method has changed from those initial works and how I express them now. So they're the same essentially the same composition, the same image, but the treatment now is entirely different, and it seems to have more. It seems to have more content in it, but even though the image is essentially the same thing, it just has more beef in it.
So that's more like a stylistic change, or what would you call it? A technique change? What is that?
I think it's a total change. It's just a total re-examining of it, because I could create the same work over again, but I'm looking at that now as a reference from a historical reference, and I'm looking at it and going, okay, can I and the whole idea is, can I recreate it? But you can never go back to that. I mean, unless you can't. You've passed that stage and you've transitioned to where you are now. So everything that you are translating now, in terms of from that what becomes now a primary source, a reference to what you're doing now, to me just signals to me that you've grown. You see so much more than what you saw before, and you understand so much more about the medium.
So when you look at your old artwork, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at a memory. I really am. That's the way I could. I'm not trying to sound arty farty. I mean, I'm just saying I'm looking at a memory, and I'm trying to.
You froze, Ron.
That's kind of nice. You give me a telephone ring, and I just. Am I frozen again? Am I still frozen?
No, you're back. Go on. You're looking at a memory.
Whose phone was that?
That was my phone. I had to decline the call. Unfortunately, they don't know I'm online on the air right now. I would talk to them, but I have to call them back.
Well, to me, it's. I mean, you can recreate, you can attempt to create a work exactly, make a replica. Why you would do that, I don't know, but it actually, if I'm using it as a resource, I'm the same person. I have still all of there's that common thread between me, but in the last, let's say, 20 years, since I'm looking at that as a primary source, I've changed. And so, and the time and place I'm in is different also. So add into that, add that into the mix of the building of that thing. So I've changed, my abilities have changed, my circumstances have changed, the time that I live has changed, so everything has transitioned, and now I may be using that as a source, but I am recreating an entirely different artwork from an entirely different position overall.
Well, you're saying, okay, so you're saying, now I get this because I'm going to look at my work and I say, I get the idea of their growth, but do you think that sometimes the growth is a hindrance? Do you find that sometimes when you were doing it, the lack of knowledge was a strength?
The lack of knowledge of what?
The lack of knowledge of the technique of what you were doing, of the technical attributes that go into making the art, that the fumbling, and this is the other thing I wrote down in my notes when I wrote it down, was discovery. That, the act of doing the piece, and this is the truth, like this piece that we're looking at right now, the act of doing the piece itself was an act of discovery. It was like, oh, I should not do that. I should do better than that.
Well, I mean, it's always, every act of creation is an act of discovery. It's funny that you should mention that because, let's see.
What?
Let me see here. No, I'm not frozen. I'm not frozen. I'm just looking here at some notes here, and I wrote here, and this is from the other day. I was just saying, art is a language with the impossibility of an adequate translation, even as an artist, and especially as the viewer. The viewer doesn't have any. Doesn't have any reference when they're looking at your work. So they're translating it from their position, where they stand and where they live, and they look at this. And if this gives them enough information and feedback, they can make a reasonable interpretation, but that's all it is. It's just a reasonable interpretation. In fact, when we explain our work, it's just a reasonable interpretation, because we can't remember, or we can't bottle that creative moment.
No, you can't do it. Absolutely not. You can't.
So we can't, we're divorced from our own work and we take the seat of a spectator. Now, if you can explain your work down systematically, I would say that your work is more an academic, is more of an academic process than anything else. Because
No, keep going because
no,
I got questions.
go ahead.
Well, okay, but isn't there something to that? Because I'm just saying, even if you go say it's an academic process, aren't you learning things that for you can't go back? Because even if it's an academic process, you can't go back to the lack of knowledge.
Well, it's just like building a house and swinging a hammer. You know, you don't remember the moment you swung that hammer from swinging it like an amateur to swing and finally having a technique and process where you hit that nail and drove it in on 3 strikes every time. You know, you don't remember that moment that you did that, but you know, each thing is a progression on, and you are definitely going to get better until you.
You froze, Ron. You froze. We've got to get you. We're gonna have to definitely get you some fiber.
Exactly. I need fiber.
And I'm not talking about whole wheat.
All right. So yeah, you know what? It's it's a strange process that I think that one time that we were talking about, and I was reading Berger, and he was talking about Picasso. The fact that one of the things he argued was that Picasso, by the time in his later stages, had stopped becoming an innovator and became more of a copy of himself. And
we talked about that. Picasso became like a copy of Picasso.
yeah, and he had to in order to stay relevant, I guess, in a market that demanded him to be Picasso. You know, so and that's a tragedy because I saw a video and I'll give you the link of Berger talking about the fact that this has been resting on me for weeks now. He said you can make 2 choices in the art world. I said you can succumb to the art world and have all the success and notoriety that goes with it, but you're going to surrender your freedom. Or you can stay anonymous and have all the freedom you want when creating your artwork. And that's a tough one because, like in our society, we measure success by its monetary value and the amount of celebrity that you attain from it, and everybody else is someone that didn't make an attempt. But you know, I don't really believe that. I think there's a lot of people out there making choices, deliberate choices to retain their, as you said the other day, their soul, and would prefer to have their soul intact rather than their bank account or their Facebook account or their Instagram account and the billions of likes they have.
Well, you know, on the flip side of that, in these crazy pandemic times, it looks like I'm about to do another dog portrait.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn dogs. Dogs are famous. Well, there's nothing wrong with making. I mean, I'm not going to tell you. I haven't seen a penny of my painting I've sold, but so yeah, it still made me unsellable. You know, I might have gotten gangstered by a gallery. I'm not sure, but I haven't seen a penny of it yet. So, but I did get a notice or a post from the guy that bought the painting, and he said it was the best buy of 2020 for him. And so I'm happy he's happy with it. You know.
Yeah, that's good. I saw that post, and that's dude. So it means I finally got to see the entire piece of art.
Really?
You took a photograph where you could see the whole thing finally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, oh, That's all the stuff I was talking about I couldn't see before.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's good.
When I'm trying to take a good photograph, I take the shittiest photograph on the planet. It's when I'm not trying to take a photograph, I take some stellar photographs.
Well, anyway, I got to see it. Yeah, dude, it's really strange, because I wanted to talk about this whole transition thing because it's like I myself right now am working on a new portrait.
Mm-hmm.
And now with all the abstract stuff that I've done, as we were talking, like when I did the nude of Irma, I should have put the Irma piece up here. I should have that up here.
Mm-hmm.
But now I am using all of that stuff that I basically experimented with and bringing it to the portrait. Like I'm working on the portrait now, and as I'm working it, I'm going, I don't want it to be the same as all the others. What can I do to this to make it not be like all the others? And then my mind went, use that technique that you were doing these other things with on the portrait. And I'm just like, oh, wow, that's going to be really weird, but I'm going to try it.
On the which one? Oh, what are you talking about?
The portrait I'm working on now.
The dog one?
No, I'm working on it. The one I showed you the photograph of, and you said, why are you redoing your photographs when you just show the photographs?
Mm-hmm.
The one that's really dark.
Yeah.
But as I'm looking at the photo, as I'm working on the image, I see that there's a way where I can go in and do some different things that I've never done in the past. And so I'm going to. And I don't know what the model's going to think. I have no idea. But in my mind, I don't care. Because I just want to try something different. And that's, you're froze again, but you can come on back. I'm going to keep talking. You're frozen. Ron, you're frozen. But yeah, and so I see these things that I can do, and I want to do them. Part of it is in the shadowing and shading that I see that has to be done on this face. I know that I can create this like pattern in the underneath pattern in it, and I know that I can do that, and I think I'm going to.
Mm-hmm. You froze. You froze. You froze. Your sound went down. Your audio. Are you back? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties here. And not a pleasant way to keep a string of thought going. Let me see here. FaceTime headphones. Are you still off? There we go.
Okay, Ron, are you back? No. Ron. Okay, Ron.
Okay, back. All right.
All right, we're all back. Woo.
Whoa, that was
Anyway, That was kind of crazy. Yeah, I had to. Let me go ahead and do that.
Hey, how come you erased her chin?
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, where were you going on? That was a train of thought that I was hoping we could keep going.
What I was saying is that basically, after doing all those abstract pieces and seeing how I was using different technique to shade them, to kind of control the way the dots went, I'm going to do the same thing with this portrait now that I know I can do these under patterns. I can do these under patterns underneath the shadowing, which is what I'm going to do now. And I don't know how it's going to affect the piece. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what happens.
Yeah, it's funny that you should mention that. Like, I've been, for the last month, I've deliberately set up a method where I was going to just do anything that I draw, I'm going to do it with my left hand. I just want to teach my left hand to see the way my right hand does. And last night I was doing this portrait from a photograph. And
Jimmy Jam's in the house. I think that's Jimmy Jam. This is Jammy Bastard. I don't know who Jammy Bastard would be.
Jammy Bastard. Is he in the house? Where is he?
I don't know. It says higher. Anyway, we're going. What were you saying now? So something you were talking about.
Yeah. So, just talking about you changing up stuff, changing up your technique, changing up the way whether it's materials or the surface, the support that you're working on. Well, I just decided, and it's, nothing monumental. I mean, a million people do it, but I decided the difference would be for me is that every time I touched a pencil, every time I touched a pen, I was going to touch it only with my left hand until I taught my left hand to draw as well as my right hand. And so I'm going to do that and just continue doing it. Now, last night I'm doing this portrait and I got to the nose, or just the tip of the nose, and I could not get it right with my left hand. And it's just because the way my hand is moving differently, and I've got to be cognizant of the way I've got to train my hand to put a curve or do something that it would normally do with the right hand. And so I was struggling with it, and I almost gave up. But then I just said, well, what happens if while I'm forcing myself to draw with my left hand, my right hand forgets to draw? So I panicked. I panicked right there. I panicked, and I got to the right hand. I put the pencil in my right hand. I started drawing away with it, and boom! All of a sudden, everything just came together. The nose, everything, the texture, the light, and then I went, okay. That's understandable. The right hand is the teacher. It's telling the student, this is how you do it. This is the way you need to do it. This is the way you need to move the pencil. And I put it back in the left hand again and went back to, in a clumsy way. But still, there's a certain grace and there's a different pronunciation to the line when I do it with my left. That's really attractive. It's open. It breathes, and it's absolutely like it just feels fresh and authentic. The right hand's trained. This is a trained hand. This one is undisciplined. I want this one to understand it's okay. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, well, hello, Jammy Bastard, being a random. Thanks for coming in.
Did he just come in and then take off?
I don't know. Who knows? He might still be there. We're just going to keep going. That's like, when you know how you do roughs? You do really quick roughs. Mm-hmm. And then when you go to clean them up and you find the roughs have more life than the cleanups.
Right.
And that's, and that's what I did when I did the whole series of In Search. Oh, there you go. He's interested. All right, cool. When I did the whole In Search of Harmony stuff, and they were all just from oh God, I forgot what those things are called now. When you just oh. Anyway, I was just doing these random little sketches all on Post-its. I could do like 20 or 30 of them in like 20 seconds. I was just like, did it as fast as possible and not really thinking about it. Then I would take all little Post-its and put them all on a sheet and look at the ones that I thought were interesting. I go, oh, this one's interesting. That was it. And then I would draw those or make an interpretation of those, the ones that were interesting. And it was really nice to be able to just do those like really reactive sketches without really thinking about it. It was just like, oh yeah, automatic drawings. That's what they are. Woof. I knew I could think of the word for it. Ron, you're frozen. Come on back. Anyway, it was really nice to be able to do those really quick little really flash sketches on the Post-its without even looking at them. You draw one, throw it away. Draw one, throw it away. Draw one, throw it away. Then you collect them all, put them all on a big board so you can look at all of them at one time, and you could pick out the ones that were really good or you thought were good versus the ones that weren't any good. And speaking of your left hand, I remember do you remember Hollis, my roommate, Hollis, the surfer girl I had for a while? My roommate?
I don't.
Anyway, dude, what was awesome about her, talking about your left hand, she had to have she was taking art classes. She had to have surgery on her right hand. So she did all of her art with her left hand, and she ended up getting an A out of her class. And by the end of the semester, she was really good with her left hand. I was just like, I was blown away. Because she spent like 4 months drawing only with her left hand.
Well, that's essentially the intention there is to train. I mean, I have another hand. It's like, why not put it to use?
I use my left hand, like the big ones you said are all black. Those big open areas where it's just got to be coverage. I use my left hand all the time, man. Because if I just use my right hand will be dead. My right hand would fall off.
I once started writing in my left hand.
I dread that.
I mean, and that's tough. But I think what I wrote last night was "What is a wasted life?" in my left hand, and
well, I guess this maintains with transitions. Anyway, dude, I do have another piece I'm going to throw up here though, real quick.
All right,
just to show people what we're talking about as far as the transition from that light to dark. Hang on, I'm going to go get the image right now, and there it is, and there we go. And that's the image. Can you see it now?
No. Is there two images?
No, it should just be one up there. Susie should be up there now. Here, I'm going to update the stream. There it goes. Hold on a second. It's coming.
All right. I see it.
There it is. I just updated the stream.
Really? Because that is a lot of ink on there. It's entirely black.
No, what happened there?
It really did transition.
It's not there?
No. Not for the rest of us.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Ted.
Wonder what happened here. Hang on.
It's magic.
I'm going to try to pull it back up there. Hang on a second. Let's go for it again.
Sinister magic.
One more time. And there. And there. And there. And see if I can't get this image in here.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. All right.
That would be considered a good transition piece from that white and black.
Right. That's what I'm saying. As even now in the white areas, I learned so much about doing the black areas that now the white areas have more depth to them.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because now I have a better control of what the dark areas are.
Mm-hmm.
And this, that just having that kind of control was necessary for the light areas to even be good. But the weird thing is, I look at some of the old pieces and I go, man, I wish I could do them like that again, and I can't because my mind won't let me.
Mm.
My mind, I look at them and I go, no, you can do better than that. Don't go back to that. And I say it because I had someone tell me once before. They said, hey, I really like your old pieces because they look like wood block prints.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that means they look so flat. And hey, look, there's a beauty to that. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if that's what I was trying to achieve.
Well, that's because they're not wood blocks.
Well,
I mean, sometimes I have to state the obvious here.
yeah, but I don't want to be photographs either. There's got to be somewhere in between. There's got to be like this land that's in between the wood block and the photograph. You know what I'm saying? There's like the middle ground in there somewhere.
I don't know because it's.
You froze. Unfreeze yourself. Anyway, we're talking about transitions. And this piece, if you saw the earlier piece that was up there, it was really light. This piece is like one of the ones in the middle. It has a really dark side, and then it has a really light side.
Mm-hmm.
And this piece was completely about transitioning. I mean,
the reason I like the other ones, the earliest ones, is that they're so damn weird. I mean, they're just weird looking. I mean, they're the light is strange on them. The position of objects, the dark objects on them are almost intrusive. They're like cuts into the white, and then everything is disjointed. I mean, I think one of the ones that really stuck out to me is the downhill skier you did. Do you remember that one? Yeah. I mean, that just was. It was just these few minimal parts that kind of joined together to say that was this figure, but that wasn't really what the painting, the artwork was about. It was about the space, the black, the interaction between the black and the white, and then it was an odd positioning, but it was enough to just make you look at it because it was odd to look at. They were odd in a way. The one, like you said, the face with the eyes are strange. You can't really put your finger out on them, but when you look at one of the eyes, it's in profile.
Well, okay, I just put up a different one. And this is one going back to, hopefully it updates here. Come on, you can do this. Are we going to update? Or maybe it's not going to update. Come on. You got this.
Rub it.
Hold on. Let's try it again. Hold on. I'm going to get this image up here for you guys. Okay. Now let's get it over here. All right. And then update. Okay. There it is. Run.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. See, that's a return to the separate image, the separate portions of the face, but the technique has changed. The actual technique of the actual placement of how I put the ink on the board has changed. You can see it in the difference in the eyes, even though it's all separate elements. Again, they're much more. I don't know what the word is for.
Accurate.
Yeah, accurate's a good word to use for.
Yeah, it's accurate. I mean, come on. I mean, you're drawing here. It's like, okay, the first one, you're not sure if the artist really knows how to draw a face, but this one says, oh, yeah, everything is proportional. Everything looks right. The shading, it's talking about true light and true depth, and so it pierces the white area. The darks actually penetrate that white area.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So that the first one we had up there, that was just like, I looked at it and go, oh my God, what happened here? Look at something. This dude, like you said, I don't know if this guy really knows how to draw a face. Has he ever
Yeah.
seen a face?
The only thing that bothered me about this one was
Uh-oh.
it just looked like the person in it had just gotten done eating an extra large Hershey bar. And then always just, or it's a clown. She's getting ready for the circus, because you got the little dots here. I mean, when the first time I saw this, I love the lips, I love the eyes and the nose, the light off the nose. But then I got down to those two little dots, and it just drove me mad. Because
what little dots are you talking about?
All of the dimples, the darkness at the ends of the lip.
Well, that's the. You know what that is? And when I say this, you're gonna recognize what it is, because I told her to do this little crazy half smile, and I described the smile I wanted her to do, and you're gonna know it the minute I say it. I wanted the Mona Lisa lips.
Okay.
Yeah, you see it now. Now you see what I'm talking about. That little smirky smile that the Mona Lisa has.
Yeah. It's kind of.
I wanted that little smirky smile. Ron, you froze. Come on back. Come back and talk to me about the Mona Lisa smirky smile.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's got that coy smile to it, but it looks like Mona Lisa ate the last Hershey's chocolate bar and didn't leave anybody anything else.
Yeah, well, that's the
so it does. Yeah, it does look like that. I mean, that's the look you would get. Like, I ate it, and sorry.
But you know what I'm talking about, though. When I said the Mona Lisa smirky smile.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
When you look at Mona Lisa, it has that little look, and you look at it, and you go, "What the heck is up with that?" And it's that smirky little smile that she has.
Yeah, and there's so many. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And that's what I was trying to do with that. I was like, I want that smirky smile. I want the smirky smile.
Well, you definitely got that. You got that smirky smile. I mean, I think it's a wonderful drawing. I mean, it really does show. I mean, the face, the picture comes alive. The other one has so many idiosyncrasies, or just idiosyncratic elements to it, that that's why I like looking at it. I mean, I like looking at things that just don't seem to make sense to me.
Oh, you're talking about the first one.
Yeah, and then to start discovering things like the eye in profile in a frontal position, I mean, the way you drew that eye, it was in profile, and the other one is kind of looking off into space, and everything is so geometric on it.
Dude, that piece is so weird. Oh my God,
I mean,
it's such a bizarre piece.
And this is to a softer, subtler look, but there's still a lot of geometry in there, especially that hard, oval or half oval under her lip, those two little dimples in there, the hard shadows under the nose. Those are intriguing shapes. They kind of toy with the idea of what is of form and flatness.
And see, and that's what I'm saying. This one versus the other. Okay, I'm going to put the other one back. Oh God. Okay, now that we looked at this one, I'm going to get the other one and get it back. Hold on. Everyone's going to be going, what happened here to the image? Let's go get the image. Okay, get it back. There it is. Bring it back. Okay. Update the stream. And boom.
There she is.
Okay.
You see that? I am profile?
Yeah, but yeah, you see, but yeah. I know what you're saying. One is definitely to the side view, and one is definitely like, I don't even know. Like I said, dude, this piece is so incorrect. Like, there's no shadowing anywhere. it's like
no.
This piece makes no sense.
It's like the white area just grabbed these elements from the air and just plastered them onto its whiteness, and there you go. Things are disjointed, but it's cool. I mean, it's it's
Well,
the
no.
strangest looking thing to look at.
And this is what I'm saying. Going back to when we talk about Picasso, the whole thing is like we drawing like you're like a 5-year-old.
Mm.
This is the drawing of a guy who is not really good at drawing yet.
Okay.
I got better. Even I got better. Like when we talk about working in the studio. Nothing like drawing 8 hours a day every day for 3 years and hone your drawing skills. I'm telling you right now, that was like boot camp. Every day. We drew every day. You knew that. You were there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
you drew every day when you guys weren't playing basketball.
Yeah, we only played basketball on our breaks. And you had to, dude. You know what it's like to sit down for 8 hours a day behind a desk drawing? Oh, my God.
I know.
If you didn't get to do something physical, your body was just going to cave in.
I agree. Yeah, well, we never left our desk. I was over there with Gene. We didn't leave our desk. I was afraid to leave my desk. So Gene's over there drawing away, and I'm just like going, man, I got to stay here. I got to keep up. This is a marathon.
Oh, dude. Gene, all those guys, dude, not just Gene, but the Filipino artists, those guys.
Yeah, those guys are workers, man.
They get a bottle of water, and that is it. One bottle of water for the whole day. You're like, how do you do that? You didn't even go to the bathroom. We ain't going to the bathroom. We're not getting up. That's why you only drink one bottle of water. So you don't have to go to the bathroom. Anyway, you froze again, Ron. Come on back. Come on back to this crazy piece. We're going to wrap this show up here in a second here.
I hope for the person that wanted this to be on.
As soon as Ron comes back, we're going to wrap this up.
Am I back now?
I don't know if we talked about transition at all.
Back?
Well, we did. We showed some work, so we could have an idea of what's going on here.
Am I back? Apparently, I'm not.
I guess basically it's always about growth.
Am I back now?
At some point, Ron's going to come back because that would be growth as well. Ron, are you back?
How about now?
Well, I see you there, but I don't see you here.
How about now? That's how we started the show. Now I can't hear you. Worked the last time. How's that?
All right, Ron. Now? Ron? Ron?
Yes.
All right, there we go. Whew. My bad. I'm getting better at this control center. But anyway.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, dude, we did good. We made it through most of the show. We were almost about to wrap it up anyway. 6:52. We went for our designated hour.
You can ask the. You didn't tell me who it was that had mentioned having a topic to talk from. I thought that was a good suggestion, and I hope they were that we were on topic with them, or that we did what we were supposed to do.
Oh, I'm thinking we did what we were supposed to do. The whole idea of transitioning, of course, is that there is going to be growth. You're going to change as an artist. The whole thing, I don't know if you always bring in, like I said, the whole thing with discovery, I don't know if you bring all your changes to fore. As we just looked at these pieces from this one piece that was all white to the other piece that's mostly white, and
Mm-hmm.
you can still see how the change happened. That one is definitely much more realistic
Mm-hmm.
versus the one where this is just an impossibility.
Yeah, yeah. But even the possibility is acceptable. I mean, we accept it. You know, it's we accept it as just, I don't know, a natural abnormality. You know, we take it, and we don't even have to tolerate it. We just accept it for what it is, and it all seems to come together. And never, I mean, I never looked at the drawing and didn't like it. You know, it was something that I always just appreciated its weirdness, its strangeness, its other kind of just.
If you met this person in the street, you'd be scared.
If you met this eyeball and nose and lips floating around, walking together, don't follow them into the alley.
I know. But anyway, what we got for the next show? What are we thinking?
I don't know. I deleted that text. But I was thinking about continuing on with certain words like that. I mean, I don't want to get too heady, because one of the things.
Let's try to keep the topics down to a word.
Yeah. So how about I have no idea why this came. Why I thought of this, but I mean, why this word popped into my head and wouldn't leave was boundaries.
All right, we're going for it.
I have no.
Now boundaries is boundaries is down west.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I guess what would be an interesting thing is our interpretations. Because we'll definitely have different opinions about how to enter that, or how we're going to present that as a topic and discuss it. So I guess we could show each other's works.
Well, like I said, the artist I want to bring in he lives in Vegas, but he studied under Reed. So his work, you will definitely see the influence.
Okay. And are we going to talk about that topic and look at his artwork? And is he going to talk about the topic in relation to his artwork?
Yes. I'm gonna get him to send me up to 3 images that we can bounce around on the screen and talk about the topic.
Okay. All right.
So we're gonna wrap this up. Hey, I want to say thanks for everyone who might have popped in.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021. This is our very first show on Puna Press.
Or 20.
Ron, you froze again. I'm going to go ahead and continue with the signing out. But come on back. You sign back in here. Thanks to everyone who may have watched. Thank you, Jammy Bastard. Hopefully so was interesting. We don't know what we're doing. We just do art. We're artists. Ron's actually a teacher. He actually has credentials.
Somebody hired me.
I'm just some dude slugging away with ink in a room. Anyway, Ron, say something to the people.
Happy New Year. Welcome to 2020 version 2.
Version 2, Jesus.
And we're just artists. We have the simple pleasures in mind. Make art, try to make people happy, try to give a little something to the world.
Make people happy?
I like to make people happy. I don't want to make people angry.
With your art? What? What now?
It's happy art. It's the alternate Dizzy version.
It's at some point we're going to talk about art and politics, of course. Or maybe not the next one, but at some point here, it's going to have to happen. Anyway,
Art and politics. Oh my God. Who are you going to be? Fox News or CNN?
no, dude, we're not going to take on any of those. I don't want to be any of those people. I want to just be myself and talk about art versus how the political use of art. Well, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Well, that's an interesting thing. Why don't we just, instead of just calling it politics, why don't we just go with the human value of art?
Well,
that just encompasses everything.
That's not a one-word phrase. We need that's a big long one word. We'll work on that later. Right now, though, for next, what was the topic for the next show up? You Boundaries is coming up. All right, folks. It is 6:59. We're going to sign out. I want to thank everyone. This is Unsellable Beta. We're going to have a logo by the next show. So says Ron.
Yeah, we're not going to sell it either.
That's good. All right, we're out, folks. You all take care. Thank you very much.
Bye. All right, man. That was good.
That was good. Later.
All right, man.